You can't build a marriage on unhealed patterns. And the truth is that a lot of us think that we outgrow our wounds. That is until marriage comes into play and actually exposes them.
So, welcome to the Work Behind The Vows podcast. I'm your host, Words Taylor, and I'm here with my co-host, my beautiful wife, Julanda Taylor.
Where is all the extra lavishment? Like, give me more.
Okay, and I'm here with my co-host, my beautiful, lovely, intelligent, exquisite
Stop. You should stop.
wife, Julanda Taylor.
Yes. And
All right,
here
let's dig in.
we have real conversations about life and daily choices and the healing work that goes into holding a marriage together.
Absolutely.
So today we are talking about the lessons.
Okay.
What no one taught us about building a healthy marriage.
My God.
Because there was a lot that nobody said.
My God.
You know, I like starting off our episodes with like five. Five is a nice
That's good.
round
That's good.
number.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the 5 biggest lessons that marriage taught us.
Okay.
Lesson number 1. Mm-hmm. I just want to say, let me say this. This episode is an episode after my own heart. For those who don't know, I am focused on healing and wholeness. Now, we as a unit are as well, but like a lot of my conversation comes across as therapeutic. Even my husband tells me as we're just talking, he's like, you actually use that language in regular conversation. I do.
It's ridiculous.
I am on a for real healing journey. So, number 1, healing is personal before it's relational.
Okay. Yes. So, well, here's the first thing. I don't know, because it's personal. However, I didn't realize that healing, like if we looked in our marriage, and I didn't realize that healing was even necessary or that it was a part of this marriage or journey or anything prior to, you identifying like, babe, come on, there's some stuff. Like, I don't have anything to do with that. You taking this anger out on me for something I wasn't even a part of.
Absolutely.
And then we start to learn that, dang, okay, that triggered me, which made me think about, this is something my father used to do, or this is something my mother did, or this is something my grandmother did, or whatever. So I don't know, is it personal first?
So this is why, I think exactly what you said gives the testament to why it is personal first.
Okay.
So let's take our union, for example.
Mm-hmm.
When we got together, I was already on a personal healing journey.
Yeah, okay.
I had already established, hey, I have trauma that is impacting me in every area of my life.
For sure.
And I need to address this trauma in order to stop being triggered and to figure out how to navigate life in a healthy, comfortable space.
Right.
It then enters you. You have no awareness of the need for healing, of the need for trauma recovery or anything, right? So in our relationship.
Yeah, for sure. All of this stuff is coming out.
Of this is coming out, and you are seeking to, I remember even saying, hey, I need to go to individual therapy. Like, I need to go back, because I've been in therapy off and on for 20 some years, right? But I take spurts off. Right. And so I was off, and I said, I need to go back to individual therapy. Mm-hmm. And your response was, nah, we don't need to do that. Why'd you need to do that? Because you had no exposure to that.
Yeah.
And you thought that us going to marriage counseling was going to be something that was going to actively and healthily impact our marriage, right?
Right.
But even no matter how many different marriage counseling sessions we had, we still had the same problems, which led me to individual therapy, which then began to work out the issues that were happening relationally.
Yeah, I got you. So I can see that. I definitely helped me to understand what I was bringing to my marriage at that point. It's like, there are things that there's an expectation that I have of you that really honestly doesn't have anything to do with it.
Had very little to do with me.
Right. So when we look at that, that's just not something we were taught.
Absolutely.
When we look at healing in itself, we're taught to, hey, you got it.
Pray about that thing.
Yeah. You pray about it. You'll get through it. Time heals, like we talked about last week. Time heals all wounds. Time heals everything and all of those things, when it doesn't.
Absolutely.
It just begins to fester. But not only that, I just felt like I'm pretty intelligent. I'm pretty much, maybe there's a level of arrogance there as well that is like, I don't need all of that.
We got this.
Yeah, we got this. And so.
And it's not to say that you don't.
Yeah.
But it is to say that sometimes you need additional supplement to help get you through that process of healing.
For sure.
And it was through my own personal exposure to healing that led me to be able to tell you, that's not my thing to carry. Like, I can't do this for you. I can't, you're putting something on me. You're putting an expectation on me that has nothing to do with me. I didn't abandon you.
Right.
I have been here.
Right.
You're pushing me away and ostracizing me when I'm the one who's actually been by your side, pushing you, encouraging you, and motivating you to do all of these things.
For sure.
Which leads me, and you say to me, you never, you always.
Right.
And I'm looking at you like, I ain't ever. Like, maybe I did it 3 times, but now I always.
Right.
So then, but because I was able, and I was on that journey, I was able to be reflective and say, okay, that has nothing to do with me. That's not my thing. That's his thing. And I cannot force him to go on his own personal journey. Instead, I can make him aware when I see it, and I can say, that's not my thing. That's not for me to hold. That's not for me to handle. It still took some years before you were finally able to say, what is she talking about? Okay, let me go figure out what this thing is then. If it's not hers, if it's not, this thing isn't happening and she's not the remedy to correct this thing, then let me go figure out what is.
Absolutely. No, I'm in agreement with it. And I'm in agreement with the idea of, in order to be better relationally, not even just in our marriage, but just like with our children or with friendships, increasing ourselves is highly important. So the more I increase me, the more that I can have a civilized conversation or healthy interactions, or I can be aware of the things that bother me and now put a plan in place to correct those things.
And a lot of couples go at it backwards. A lot of couples go at it as, since this is a relationship and we are having a relational issue, we're going to go to marriage counseling and it's going to fix all of our issues. That is not the reality.
Because that's good, because you're thinking that the reason you all are having issues
is your relationship,
is the marriage. And this is why there's a fear of marriage. And this is why, we have these things. But the real reason is because there are things in you personally that have hindered the connection, or you don't realize, and we've said this before, where we spent, years just triggering one another. Some people don't like the word trigger, but it's simple. There's a behavior that you're doing that makes me feel like something else. And here's the thing. Here's a level of compassion now in that. There's a behavior that you're doing or that I'm doing that makes me relive past hurt. Or the past time that I felt small, or the past time that I felt insecure, or the past time that I felt rejected. There's when you look at it that way, as a level of compassion.
Absolutely.
That you're like, dang, this behavior just sent my husband back to this, or this behavior just sent my wife back to this. I don't want to.
Absolutely.
I definitely don't want to do that.
Absolutely.
I for sure want to make sure we acknowledge. Now, it is still up to me individually or you individually to go and let's see what that is.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not about to walk around on eggshells.
Absolutely.
But let's explore what that is, because I'm triggering, you triggering. And then the only thing I'm trying to do when we're both triggered, the only thing we're trying to do is protect ourselves.
Absolutely.
We're saying this won't happen to me again.
We're good. That's good.
No, I am never letting nobody talk to me like that ever again. I'm never letting nobody curse at me ever again. You've never raising your voice at me ever. No, I'm never letting somebody blame me ever again.
Yeah, that's good.
You're in protection mode.
That's good. And there are people who, when we talk a lot about trauma, right? We talk a lot about childhood trauma. And a lot of people, they hear that word and they instantly think big T trauma.
Right.
So abuse or abandonment, things like that. I need people to hear us today in that everything that you experienced in your childhood, let's take the word trauma off the table, right? Everything that you experienced in your childhood has an impact
Absolutely.
on who you are in your adulthood.
Exactly.
Your beliefs, your motivations, and your understanding.
Yeah.
And that thing right there, until you get to the root of knowing what those beliefs, motivations, and understandings are, what they are, you will not know that they are actively impacting your relationship and your marriage today.
Yeah.
So you can go into this marriage counseling.
Yeah.
And you can think that we're going to go in here and we're going to have this conversation and this is going to fix our issue. But it's not until you realize that the reason why I do X, Y, Z is because this was what I was taught or what I seen or what I understood from childhood. Sure. And this is
my norm.
This is my norm. And this is not the norm, though, because that wasn't your spouse's norm.
Yeah.
Their norm was something different.
For sure.
So y'all have two different ways of that you were raised, and you then have to come together and find your way that you're going to move forward together.
Absolutely. And when you learn this, when you get to a place where you learn this, then you learn how to take it from your way and my way to our way.
Our way.
This is something that we've always said. It's like, we want to create our plan. Well, let's create how we do Christmas, or let's create how we do Thanksgiving, or how we are going to do birthdays or celebrations or vacations or whatever.
It's like you, when you were growing up, did it this way.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, I did it this way. We don't have to conform to one another's way.
Right.
Let's find a way.
Unless we both like, because I can hear some of yours and be like, you know what, I actually like that. We can rock with that. Unless we're in agreement with it, for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So this next lesson that we learned in marriage, so we actually kind of talked about it in the negative on the last episode, right? So in this episode, it is that connection is not talking, communication is not talking, it's connecting.
Right.
And so in this way, talking about that positive aspect of connecting and what that looks like, what connecting through communication looks like in a marriage.
Well, I think that just kind of like what we talked about is when we talk about communication is not talking, it's connecting. Whereas you can talk, and this is, you've come to me before and you're like, I just don't feel like we're connected.
This is what I'm sitting here thinking about.
Girl,
we just had a 6-hour conversation about your Netflix show.
All right. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then I can measure that and look at my participation in that. And did I make you feel like, this is a hurry? Okay, come on now.
Yeah, like, I'm checking off a box.
Come on now. Like,
I know you want to talk to me. So let me check off this box to listen to this long story.
And then I'm trying to hide my nonverbals, and I'm like, oh, she's still going. My God. Okay. She got to talk. Okay.
And those conversations have happened. And those are times when we are not connecting.
For sure. So now, communication is connecting, and that's different from just talking, because you can talk and not participate. You can talk and not receive. You can talk and not hear. But when you are connecting, that means I'm an active participant. You're an active participant. Phones are down.
Yes.
Or open, or you can communicate in a healthy way. Like, hey, I can't do it right now.
Absolutely.
Hey, can we come back to it in 10 or 15 minutes or whatever? And now we give each other undivided attention. So that part is connecting, where I can reference past conversations. I can now.
You proud of that, boy. You brought this up about 3 times.
My God. You know what I'm saying? My goodness. Because I'm not a detailed oriented person. So in your story, there's so many details. It's like, oh my God, I ain't gonna be able to keep up with all this. So if I do capture something and I'm connecting the pieces, I'm like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna give it back to you. I'm gonna let you know, and all those things. That connecting makes your spouse feel heard. Absolutely. Seen. Understood.
Absolutely.
Which in that case, you feel safe. you feel like there's an environment that was created for you that, you know, you could be vulnerable in. And you feel like, hey, we're actually communicating with one
Absolutely.
another. We're actually connected in that sense. Yeah,
I think it's just about in your communication moments being fully present
yeah, for sure.
and interacting.
That's good. That's good.
Intentionally present
That's
and
good.
interacting.
Yeah.
Doing that takes that communication from simply communicating to now we're connected.
That's good. That's good work. That's good.
So let's pause there. We'll go ahead and head to a commercial.
Okay, so first of all, I appreciate you all watching the episode. Thank you so much. But I don't just want you to watch it. I want you to also subscribe. I want you to make sure that you're subscribing to the podcast and that you're in tune with everything that we're doing. That's why my wife and I prepared a training just for you so you can get access to it. It's our marriage golden ticket. Well, we're going to show you how to start to reconnect, all right, and just restore your marriage the way you want to. So you can start reconciling, so you can start to have more intimacy, more healthy communication, all of the above, right? The marriage golden ticket. Only thing you got to do is go ahead and visit theworkbehindthevows.com or use the link below in the description, and we got you. You're going to get all things the work behind the vows, all things me and wifey, you're going to get it there. Let's get this work, y'all. Go back to the episode. Let go.
And welcome back. So the next thing that we want to talk about,
We just pay some bills, man.
we just, you know, I paused that a little bit. I was about to say it, but you know, I'm gonna let it go. We did pay some bills.
Yo, we just pay some bills.
Exciting.
Well, go ahead.
But the next lesson that marriage taught us is that accountability is uncomfortable, but necessary.
Yeah. I think this is probably one of the most valuable lessons in marriage to recognize, because accountability, it shows this level of compassion.
Yeah.
It shows empathy. It shows that I'm acknowledging your feelings. I want to make sure you're heard. It shows that, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I hear you, and I see where I could have done different, or I could have worked on. Like, accountability.
My ego isn't in the way.
Exactly.
I don't have to be right. I wasn't fully right.
Like, an ego could fill a room. It could fill a home, and it can make that home feel very like a prison cell. Your ego could shift the entire marriage.
Absolutely.
And this is where we get into, it's like, oh man, this marriage is so hard. I'm overwhelmed. We're in this roommate state. It's because the ego just not willing to say accountability, or not willing to say, I could have done something different. I could have done better.
I mean, and let's be real. We don't want to be wrong.
Right. That's good.
Like, that's human nature.
Because it's rare that I'm wrong. So I get
Stop it.
I get it.
Stories that are
I
happening
get it.
on this podcast.
I get it. So
we don't want to be wrong. And in that desire to not be wrong, it's like, what am I taking accountability for?
Hold on, let me do so we can a viral moment. It's rare that I'm wrong. So when I'm saying it, I just need you to listen. That's the only thing. Like, if I'm saying the plan, then we gonna move forward with the plan. Get on the ship.
Listen.
Okay. All right,
let me say this.
Make sure y'all clip that up. That's
the level of shenanigans that are happening in this space are unbelievable.
These are people. Your people like drama. So I'll give you
unbelievable.
Your people like drama.
I know he can't get an Oscar for a podcast. I believe he can get a Webby. I'm pretty sure this is what he's going for. It seems like we're now 2 episodes where this has happened. This may become a thing.
I'm just saying. We gotta get it out. But go ahead. If another one comes, hit my spirit, then I'll bring that one out too.
I'm just go into a shout.
Yeah.
And a
but
song.
no, you were saying
like,
I do think it's legit. It's when you think that your way or how you handle the situation is the best.
Right.
It's very hard to come off of that cliff. It's very hard to abandon that idea of no, this is, and it's only because you know what? When we move away from right and wrong, like you're right, I'm wrong, or I'm right, you're wrong, because there is, in business, right? I tell people like, hey, this is how we're going to build your business and we're going to make money. And I've done it over and over again where we've helped to create several 7-figure businesses. Now, there's somebody that is going to, there's been students that have said, well, I have this coach and they're saying we should do this. And I tell them, I don't think they're wrong. They're just taking a different path,
approach,
to get to the same goal. That's their way of launching and building a company. And they've had success in doing so. What happens in marriage is I've had success in my approach to how I approach certain things. And so have you. So it's like, you're wrong. I'm right because I've had success and I've done this.
So, but that accountability part is acknowledging that there may be another way to skin a cat.
For sure.
There may be. So acknowledging that my way is not the only right way.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging that.
Yes, that's the accountability. It's acknowledging that.
See your face? The face lets me know it's about to be nonsense.
It's acknowledging that I'm a movement by myself, but I am a force when we're together. You make me better. Okay? That's what it's acknowledging. That's
Neo and Fabulous.
That's what we need to acknowledge. I'm a movement. Yes, you did what you did. And you got results. You were a movement. And yes, I did what I did. I'm a movement. But I'm a force when we're together.
That was the prophet Neo.
You make me better.
That was the prophet Neo.
You make me better.
So another part of accountability, though,
Neo no prophet.
He ain't no prophet. I'm just, this is all jokes.
Hold on, my man.
Okay, I don't even know if we got the same God. So, accountability is uncomfortable but necessary. There's one other aspect that I wanted to address with it, and it goes back to the ego, is this reluctance to put down our ego, this reluctance to even acknowledge, because that puts you in a vulnerable state, to even acknowledge that I wasn't right. There's a possibility that I wasn't right and I am sorry.
Right.
That is necessary in marriage.
But an environment has to be created for that.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing. That can happen every single day, but the environment has to be created for that. Absolutely. I need to know that I can be vulnerable and it won't. And I think men are even afraid of that word. I used to be like, vulnerable.
Vulnerable? You want me to be soft?
I'm
going to be a girl? Right. Be soft?
This is just, it's the programming though. It's the programming of it all. But there's strength in vulnerability. I don't know if I said it on our podcast, but I've talked about this where a poet that I absolutely loved, I can't even remember my man's name right now, but he was teaching a workshop. And this man is about 6'5". He always wear all black and all of that stuff. And when you look at him, his stature, everything, you're just like, man, okay. He travels. He's like, man, I went to the motherland. I was traveling. I went to Israel. And he was like, there's 30 other men inside of the church. And we began to worship. And he says, all the other men began to weep. And he said, in that instance, in that moment, I was the weakest man in the room because I could not get vulnerable. I refused to be vulnerable. I refused to allow myself to weep. I refused to allow myself to open up in that way. He said, he looked around and he said, I am the weakest man in this room.
That's good.
And he saw so much strength in their vulnerability. And I was like, that's good. That shifted how I see vulnerability. And I am definitely willing to do that. Especially men are willing to be vulnerable, but we have to know that the environment will allow us to do that and it won't judge us for it.
Absolutely.
That's key.
Absolutely. And that kind of leads into the next lesson, which is grace sustains what attraction can't.
That's good.
So you have to extend grace. Oh, you have to extend grace.
I got you.
You have to extend grace to yourself and to your spouse, because that sets the atmosphere and that sets the foundation for that vulnerability to happen.
Grace also allows you to feel like you can make a mistake without you thinking that you're going to be judged,
Absolutely.
or you feel like you're going to feel how somebody else made you feel when you were
Mm-hmm.
younger.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, I don't want to ask a question, or I don't want to say this because I know when I did this before when I was younger, I was made to
Mm-hmm.
feel stupid. I was made to feel like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm dumb, or I'm made to feel unworthy. Grace allows you to freely advocate for yourself. Grace allows you to freely love and be vulnerable. Grace allows you to just be a part of this marriage fully and not feel like, man, there's a microscope on me for everything I say or do.
So, can you real quick kind of explain what giving grace looks like, feels like, or sounds like? Because I think a lot of times in the Christian community, we talk about you need to give grace. I got to give
Yeah.
myself grace,
Right.
but I don't think that we practically talk about what that looks like.
Well, I don't think giving someone grace means I allow them to betray me or to disrespect me. I think giving someone grace is saying that I understand that you're human. I understand that this is a mistake. So I'm still going to acknowledge it and bring it to you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to immediately react
Mm-hmm.
with anger. I'm not going to immediately react emotionally and cut you off or pop off or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Me giving grace is acknowledging like this could actually, this is human error. This is your head, not your heart.
Absolutely.
Me giving grace to myself is the same exact thing. It's like, I have this desire that I want. Okay. There are times when, again, we always use food as the example where
Sorry. We always use food as an example.
but where
Been on this journey for a while, y'all.
stop, because you know we'll start crying. This laughter.
It's another day's journey, and I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
So glad. So glad. So it's another day's journey, and
I'm glad about it.
Okay. So you know how we use food as an example. There's times where I will say, man, I want to eat like this. And I don't do it. And so in that case, my thing is like, you deserve punishment now. And I'm not willing to give myself grace. And the fact that I want to punish myself in that way brings on more stress. And it causes me to go down a binge spiral.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you know what, you did this, now you're not going, I'm a fast, and this ain't no
I'm
spiritual.
fasting for 3 to 5 days. No
And
food, no nothing.
Yeah, this not even a spiritual thing. It's like you don't deserve to eat.
You're punishing your body.
Yes, for sure. And it's like, that's not what grace looks like.
Absolutely.
Grace is, in this sense, I fail at this one point here. However, the very next meal, I'm going to make a healthy choice.
Yeah, that's good.
How soon can I recover? How soon can I forgive myself and say, okay, we didn't hit the mark that time, but this next time, we're going to get it.
So the word that came to my head, there were two aspects of grace that came to my head in what I was hearing from you. And one was compassion. And so grace looks like being compassionate toward yourself and toward others when they have done something that maybe didn't meet the mark.
Yeah, for sure.
That didn't meet the expectation.
Yeah.
So it's being soft and gentle with yourself.
No,
soft and gentle with yourself and with them in response to the action.
I don't know if I'm being soft.
That's what compassion is. You are being soft on yourself. Being soft on yourself is not beating yourself up because you ate the thing. Being soft with yourself is saying, it's cool, we'll recover on the next one.
Let's just, we just gonna work with
soft.
I'm being patient
soft and
with
lovely.
myself.
Soft and lovely. Okay? Being soft. The other thing is The other thing is,
What's your hand doing? What are you
it's
grabbing?
communicating.
But what are you grabbing
It
when you
might
do
be
that?
doing ASL. Like, you don't know. It's
But
communicating.
but what are
You
you?
don't know.
What?
I'm speaking my language. Anyway, the other thing is, you will stop today. The other thing is giving the other person the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
That's what grace looks like. Not immediately thinking the worst.
For sure.
When you do something, oh, he's trying to control me. He's trying to treat me like I'm his child.
Right.
He thinks he's better than me. You know, all of these things. It's giving that other person the benefit of the doubt to, well, like you said, they're human. They're having a human experience.
For sure.
This is like, how would I respond in that? Like, let's figure out what their intentions were, what their motivations were. That is what grace is.
That's good.
And that sustains a marriage.
That's good.
That makes it strong.
That's the only,
That's it.
God's grace is sufficient.
God's grace is sufficient. Yeah. Last one before we go to our commercial. Let's get this one in. And it is the lesson number 5. Purpose anchors the marriage when passion is inconsistent. Okay. And so we have this joint purpose of, I think we say it differently. I think that ultimately the goal is to make sure that we impact the world and the people who we encounter, and the people, including the people in our home, to be God-fearing and self-sufficient.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So everything that we have done throughout our entire relationship has been helping people attain self-sufficiency and connection with God.
That's it. That's everything we've done.
That's everything. Every job, everything.
We've added, and just getting them to love themselves. That would probably be the third thing. And that's something that I am becoming better at. Yeah. It's just loving me. It's time where I put everybody before me. And it's because I just felt so undeserving. Mm-hmm. But I would say that's probably the third one. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So that purpose has been our united tying factor that has pushed and propelled us through these seasons when maybe the passion wasn't there.
Absolutely.
Because for anybody who knows about putting your all and working into loving people, that thing is draining.
Yeah, for sure.
That thing is hard. Yeah. I'm tired of this job. I'm tired of this situation. I'm tired of this. And the passion isn't there. I don't want to do it. Yeah. But it's that purpose that God has given us that keeps us pushing and moving forward.
And those times where, this is why my friends and I, we have the code word ministry. When the times when I'm feeling overwhelmed with marriage, we know marriage is our first ministry, I will, text the word ministry. That means, hey, whatever you're doing right now, I need help. I need to talk this through. That purpose of this ministry is not just for me, but there's so many people that look at our marriage and are like, man, if they fall.
Right. And don't do that.
Then, so I even look at that. It's like, I want this ministry, it's that purpose of, well, who else? And I know there are other people, but who else is demonstrating a healthy marriage, and that is willing to be transparent about what it takes to do a healthy marriage, and is willing to just stick it out, keep the vows and keep the covenant and all of those things. And I look at us as we have to be the ones to do that.
Yeah. And that's heavy.
Exactly.
That's a heavy load.
That's what we're called. That's the whole reason for this podcast. It's this is the work behind the vows that we're doing and that we're going through. The stories that we're sharing, these are real moments and all of those things. We just got out of a 4-week session with therapy because we could not come to an agreement, or we just allowed our flesh to just take over in that moment. So we went through our reconciliation plan, and we're like, the next stage is you got to go to therapy because you couldn't figure it out. So now we had a third party come and
Help us
pour in
figure it out.
and help us figure it out. This is the work behind the vows. And I think that purpose and the level of gratitude is tough, but the level of gratitude that I now have with God, and I'm like, yo, you would see fit to give us this responsibility. You trust us with this. It's like, I can't mess this up. I can't mess this up. Because what if I get up there and Jesus be on some, bro, you had one job. Stay married. You had one job, is to be the example of Christ and the church. I needed you to be the living example of Christ and the church. I needed that from you.
And you couldn't do that.
And you could not do that. And it's like, I ain't.
So that whole section you just gave was really good. It was a really good point. But the petty in me, I couldn't put it down. And so I was watching you as you were talking, and I didn't want to interrupt your good point though, so I waited to the end. But your hand was doing a lot of this, and I was wondering what communication was happening with your hands as you were doing this.
See, when you become skilled,
because
I was directing our producers. I was telling them what needed to be. So when you see me doing that, I'm saying, hey, turn my mic down.
Turn
my mic up.
You're full of poop.
I'm saying switch controls here.
Switch, because you did do a lot of that.
I'm saying video one.
What was this
video
one in particular?
Two,
you had this.
And I'm saying show both together. So when I do this, I'm saying go to the middle camera, show both of us together. I don't know what you're doing, but I am talking and giving points and directing the producers at the same time.
So we're going to go to our second commercial.
So let's be clear.
We'll see y'all in a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll see you in a minute.
Yo, what's going on, world? So first of all, I hope you all are enjoying the episode, but let me get a quick little break. I want to tell you all, as you all know, healing is a lifestyle. So we want to tell you real quick about Shackley. One of the things that we used to try to do is, y'all remember these? You remember these where you would try to fill up these and you have different bottles and you pick your Monday, your Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, we're done with that. With Shackley, all right, and my vitamins, look at this, prepackaged. And here's the dope part about Shackley. They're whole food vitamins, meaning they will actually spoil. Whereas you buy stuff off the shelf and it's filled with all type of metals and dyes and all of those things. Well, this is actually whole food, natural, and this is just for me. This is the vitalizer just for me. And guess what? We have this for each one of our kids as well. Our kids, prepackaged every day. Okay? Even has their name on it. So, boom, we rip it off. Another one comes out. Every single kid has one. Our entire family rocks with Shackley. It's rare that you're going to even see me get sick. Not just for my vitamins, but because, you know, I'm living a healthy lifestyle. And we want to help you all do the same thing. We put a link below just for you. Go ahead, check out our Shackley store. Also, we have things like, for y'all that are trying to get your protein in, Shackley got you. Okay? We do a 5-day protein reset. Our family is all about Shackley. And your family should be too. I mean, if you want to keep them healthy. Let's get back to the episode.
And welcome back. So, before we transition to who's at fault, because I'm sure Mr. Taylor has a good one today, I do want to sum up what we've kind of talked about up to this point, and just this reality that marriage isn't for the weak. Marriage is hard work. The reality is that it is a process of refinement. When we talk about fine metals and things like that, like they talk about how they have to be heated to all of these extreme temperatures in order to bring out the pureness. That is the process that you are going through in marriage. That is the process that you are going through in Christ, right? And so That isn't a pretty process. It's not an easy process. It's a necessary process. It's a process with built-in levels of discomfort, but also built-in levels of growth and excitement and abundance and love, right? Going into marriage with that understanding and that mindset allows that process to be a fruitful one.
That's good.
It allows that process, going with the process and not against the process, allows it to be a fruitful one, a process of abundance. So let's go ahead and transition to who is at fault.
Okay, I got another good one for us here, this episode. And remember, names have been changed, okay? All right, to protect the innocent, okay?
The innocent.
All right. Alicia borrows her husband's phone to order food. A text pops up from a familiar coworker. Thanks for listening today. You always get me. She scrolls up. It's weeks of conversations. Nothing sexual, but emotional, vulnerable, personal. Devon swears it's innocent. She's just going through a divorce. I'm helping. Alicia asks, does she talk to you about things I don't even know about? And then she says, you don't even talk to me like that. Okay, he says, you don't listen like she does. No physical cheating, but something feels off. Who's at fault?
Devon, you are at fault, sir.
Oh, now you can look at here.
Let me tell you.
Look at here.
I don't care.
We're 100% over here now.
100%. I
That's
do not
crazy.
care if
That's
it is
crazy.
not physical cheating. You have emotionally stepped out on your spouse.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree. Emotional cheating.
You have crossed the line, bruh.
Broken boundaries.
That is a complete breakage of boundaries. It is not okay. You do not have those conversations and then not to communicate it to your wife. Like, you should have gotten a check in your spirit when you out here having hidden conversations that this might not be okay.
Right. But what shouldn't happen is you shouldn't be going through my phone. And then you wouldn't see all this stuff. Listen.
You better stop right now because we'll shut this whole podcast down. Okay?
You supposed to be doing one thing, that's ordering food.
You supposed to be doing one thing, that's honoring our vows.
Okay, so.
Okay? Let's get that on the camera.
Ooh, that
you
was
supposed
good.
to be doing one thing, that's honoring our vows.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's going to be good.
Okay? That's going to be good. Now I got my Oscar moment.
Okay. So look, here's my thought.
It's not okay.
Here's my thought. I don't think he's going to take 100%, but he's going to take the full majority of it. I'm going to give my man about 88%.
Not the 12% to the victim. Like, what?
Listen to what I'm saying, though. And there's going to be some men that feel me on it. Of course, the women are going to be like, no, is that you? Here's the thing.
We don't sound like that.
He's going to take 88%. You still have to have self-control. 88. Well, I'll go 92. Okay. I'll go 92. Okay. He's going to take 92%. That is the boundaries. That is still having discipline. That is still honoring your vows, honoring your marriage. That is still communicating what's going on. All of these things. All right. All of those things is encompassing that 92%. Mm-hmm. Now, key thing is, my man definitely was feeling a disconnect from his wife, whereas these things are now, all right, where there should be some ownership from the wife as far as like this. I just feel this way even if a man starts to emotionally attach to another woman. It's like there's something that I'm not getting at home that even makes this thing interesting.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm saying that even though you still have to have self-control, you still have to honor those things, but I do think the wife should recognize like there's some things that are shifted in you where you may not be paying as much attention, you may not be validating, you may not be having these conversations or being vulnerable, or you may be withholding sex and all of these things, those things literally will start to make a man feel a way, to not feel valued, to not feel appreciated. And then you have this person that is able to come in just because they're giving this validation. They're giving the thing that you feel like you're missing.
So all of those things are accurate and they have the potential to open the door, right?
For sure.
But those are all inferences that you've put into this scenario that they provided, because none of that information was provided. What was provided is, we are married, there's no issues in our marriage, a text comes in, I see a text that is a little concerning, so I click on the text and therefore I see weeks and weeks and weeks of conversation.
Right.
So at what point is it his responsibility to communicate when he feels like he's not being heard, understood, and seen in his marriage? Because sounds like she was not aware.
What she's saying is, they're saying it's not anything, he said it's not anything romantic.
Right,
whatsoever.
He's saying it's not romantic, but what I'm saying is, it sounds like she was not aware that there was an issue in their marriage. Because if she were aware, then there should have been a conversation on either her part or his part.
Well, I don't know if there's an issue.
Exactly. So to give her 8% of something you inferred is not fair.
Well, I'm inferring that
you can infer all you want, but at the end of the day,
I'm just saying we gotta look at it.
No.
Here's the thing. Let's step back and take it for what the words are.
Take it for what was there.
Okay, let's take it for what the words are. Okay. Let me
look at the scripture.
Let me read it again.
Let's take it for what was there.
Let me read it again. Okay, let me see what's up. Okay. He swears it's innocent.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
You might need to go back before that.
Alicia asks, does she talk about things I don't even know about? He pauses. You don't even talk to me like that, she says. Okay, so
his reluctance to answer the question is yes.
I misunderstood. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that he is now having this intimate moment with this other female. Mm-hmm. He's saying that, no, I'm just talking to her about her divorce and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's nothing. It's innocent. Okay. I believe that you can have this innocent conversation.
Absolutely.
However, he definitely should have told his wife right away.
And she asked a specific question, because women have intuition, men do as well, but her intuition was telling her that these conversations have crossed the line. And so she said, are you having intimate conversation with her?
Well, she didn't use the word intimate. Hold on.
Give me specifics.
Hold on. She says, all right, does she talk to you about things I don't even know about?
Exactly. So pause. Did she talk to you about things that I don't even know about? The only things that I know about are the things that are in this text chain. I don't have any problem with what's in this text chain. It is alarming that you're having these conversations with her. But does she talk to you about things that I don't know about? His reluctance to answer says yes.
Yeah, it could be. But that don't mean there's intimacy.
That does mean that. If you can't answer a question, if you can't clearly articulate an answer to a question of yes or no, that means that you know that there is something wrong with what is happening.
It could mean that, but I'm just saying it doesn't mean that there is intimate conversation of
it's
like
not intimate,
romance.
It's inappropriate. I didn't say romance. I said inappropriate. If she's talking to you about the sex life or lack thereof with her and her husband, is inappropriate. It's not intimate between y'all, but it's inappropriate for a married man. And at the end of the day, you are neither her therapist or her pastor. You need to send her on.
That's his work wife, though.
And that's a problem. Let's take these labels away. So at the end of the day, he is 99.9% at fault. We'll give her that 1% she should have asked more clarifying questions to get an understanding of what was happening.
I think I need some more information.
You don't need more information. You need to adjust your percentage.
Devon, you know who you are. Can I get some more information on is the home front good with you and wifey?
Well, it sounds like no. He communicated that after the fact.
No. Hold on.
No. She's the one who said you don't even talk to me like that. So she's communicating that after the fact.
Oh, he says you don't listen like she does. There we go.
There we go.
So we both saying there we go. I'm saying
after the fact.
I'm keeping my 8%.
No, you're tripping. After the fact, he is communicating that there is an issue in our communication.
For sure. And he should have acknowledged that. I'm just saying he just said, which this was my whole point in the beginning. He's acknowledging that, hey, there's something that I'm missing from you. You don't even listen the way she does,
And
which shows
she doesn't know.
right. That's cool. That's why you get 92%. I agree. But I'm saying to you that there is a gap where I'm not feeling respected in our marriage, or my voice is, you haven't made my voice important. You haven't made listening or receiving from me important, and she has. That's where it comes from.
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying, as a wife, you have to take ownership of that as well.
I agree, but what
For
I'm
sure.
saying is I get a whole 8% for something that I don't know,
8%
and
is-
it wasn't communicated to me.
8%.
You better give me that too. You get 98. I got 2 because you didn't tell me.
You know. Well, mine is 92, 98.
How many times?
What's your percentage? What's your percentage?
100. How many times? How many times have
That's
you
crazy.
said to me?
We just talked about accountability.
Listen, how many times have you said to me when I was frustrated with you because you weren't helping me?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't helping with whatever, the breakfast or
for
whatever.
sure.
And how many times did you say to me, you didn't ask me. I didn't
sure.
know that this was a need.
Absolutely. But I mean,
So I'm gonna give you 8% fault because you didn't know, but it's a need.
No. I think that's different with me not knowing something physically you need help with. But if I'm saying that you don't even listen to me this way, that's not the first time that's come up.
No, she said that.
No, he's saying you don't even listen to me the way she does.
But once again, that's an inference. You said that's not the first. That's an inference.
We can listen.
How many times have you said
you cannot infer
didn't tell
something?
Me. You gotta tell me.
I'm saying when you expecting like, hey babe, I thought you was gonna warm up the car, and I'm like, oh babe, I wasn't even thinking about warming up the car. Next time, just let me know. I got you, but I'll keep it on my radar. Those are task-driven things. How many times? Okay, let's look at this. That's not task-driven?
No, it is.
Okay, so how many times let's give this example. How many times if I'm like, yo, babe, hold on, the way you're responding to me is crazy. We don't even need to go there. Like, don't do that. I don't like that. Mm-hmm. That's been said over and over and over again. Okay, so now if this happens and I come back and say, well, the way she responds to me is completely different from how you do. Mm-hmm. Okay? Just because I'm saying it now, but that don't mean I haven't said it 30, 40 other times. So you're telling me you think this is the first time he's mentioned you don't listen to me?
I don't think that matters.
Or you don't make me feel heard? That's
not based on what they provided. What I am saying is, how is she to know that he is having these issues if they have not been communicated? And it's like, how many times?
Well, we don't know that they haven't been communicated.
How many times have I come to you and said, hey, babe, XYZ, I don't like it. It makes me feel some type of way. And your response is, okay, you didn't let me know. Like, you just have to let me know. Now that you let me know, it's whatever. Cool. I would not put any fault on you for doing XYZ because you didn't know.
If I don't know. But I'm just saying, in something like this does not develop. And this is like, I want you to just get in your marriage bag for a second. This type of thing does not just develop in one instance. This is something that happens over time. And we can't believe that, oh, you've been feeling unheard and this is your very first time bringing this up. So that's not realistic.
We only have a few minutes left of this episode, so we can't really go down the road to where I would like to take it. But I want to say we have an incident pre-marriage where I thought we were good.
Okay.
We were in really good, stable space. Mm-hmm. And you were having a whole nother relationship. Okay. And I was none the wiser because we hadn't had those conversations. Hold on. No, because we were newly engaged. Like, we hadn't had those conversations. Mm-hmm. And I was none the wiser. And you were having like an emotional connection with this individual.
Got you.
And it had very little to do with me, because you were not happy with the way that I was setting my boundaries and asserting myself. And so you took it as rejection and abandonment. And you instead went and found space and solace in another person's arms.
Cool. That is not the first time you ever heard me say, I don't like how you're doing this thing.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
But because you didn't like it, didn't warrant you.
We're arguing two different things. Oh, I'm not saying he's justified in his behavior.
Okay, because that's what I'm getting.
So you gotta listen. I didn't say he's justified to do this. It's completely wrong. I'm just saying that this is what happens, where there is a gap, and now this person this is the foothold that I'm talking about. You gave a foothold if I'm expressing this thing and it's just being ignored. Because now this other person is going to do it one or two times and you get connected to that. Mm-hmm. Is it right? No, it's absolutely wrong. But I'm saying if he expressed this to his spouse, it still was on her to make a change in that as well.
So we need some additional communication as to was this expressed. Given that information, I will recant on my 100% and say it's 98 to 2%. That is where we are.
That's cool.
2%, she should have addressed and acknowledged the disconnect and what was happening.
2% is cool.
98, bro, that's on you.
I strongly, let me say, it's without a doubt, he still has to have discipline, honor your vows, all those set boundaries, all of those things are still necessary. But I am saying, if these things were not dealt with and they were talked about or brought up before, and then there's nothing, at this point, as a man, you start to check out. You're like, yo, I'm not even respected in this marriage. And then you get this from this female over here, and now you feel respected.
Yeah.
That is a draw. And I'm not saying it's okay.
That's a draw. It's incorrect. It's not right. Don't do it.
But it's the devil. I'm not promoting it, but I'm just saying that is the thing where, man, she makes me feel heard and respected. And this is how I want my wife to feel.
The grass is always greener until you get over there.
She doesn't, right? So that's all I'm saying.
So which marriage lesson from this episode was most surprising to you? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and tag us, tell us in the comments. And also tell us any lessons that you've learned that we didn't mention, because I know there's more. Next week, we are talking about the patterns that may be negatively affecting your marriage and how to make the shift towards reconciliation. Because that's what we're all about, reconciliation.
That's good.
So see you next week.
Okay.